Hello guys, welcome back to our course. Today is our final video for this course and we will be implementing our AI that we have made so far to the previously made level and action RPG that we had. So without any further ado, let's just get into that. Starting off, we have our AI and patrol points and everything. So we have that inside this AI project, Smart AI project. Along with that, we also have the project for the action RPG right here. So I'm going to migrate all these assets from the Smart AI project to the action RPG. So to do that, I'm just going to select our enemy folder. I'm going to right click and I'm going to click on migrate. And here we need to check what things we need. We need to be careful what dependencies there are. So let's say I have created our AI using the mesh that we had so far, so we have to import all those meshes along with everything that depends on that. So that means the skeleton and the physics asset as well. So we just need to keep in mind all of that and go through this checklist one by one. So we are going to import all those animations that we have. We will also import the character animations, or we won't need that since that project already has that. So we can tick that off, and we don't need the materials. We might need the meshes, so I'm going to import the meshes along with the rigs. So that's that. We need the textures, and that's it for the the characters folder. We need our enemy folder, of course, the entire enemy folder, and also our Mechascans folder that includes the assets for the hammer and axe. So that will be one. So also we can do this as well. So I'm going to press OK, and I'm going to search our folder for the action RPG. So I'm just going to go here inside the action RPG, open the content browser and just right click and show in Explorer. So we have this location here. We can just copy it out here, and inside our Smart AI we can just paste this here. So here we have inside the content folder. So we also need to keep in mind that we do select the content folder, since if we select anything else, the migration might not be successful. So after selecting the content folder for the action RPG, I'm going to press on select folder. Now it might show that there are some duplicate assets. So I'm going to just press no for this one. Now for the mannequin, we need to decide whether we want the mannequin that we have made here or the mannequin that we have in the action RPG project. So I'm going to use the one that we have in the action RPG, and if there is anything else then we can just add it to that. So I'm going to press no here, no again. Also I will just select yes for the I'm going to select no for all, and we can just see what things that are missing in that folder and add them one by one. So that is that. Now we have imported everything and we can just close this Smart AI project, and I'm going to get here and see whether everything is imported correctly or not. So this is our previous dummy that we had, and to move it aside and use our enemy here. Now you might see the axis down here in the origin. That's because this mesh doesn't have the socket that we previously added there. So we are going to do that. I'm going to go inside our BP enemy, and here is our escape mannequin. and to click on here and go to its skeleton. And now I'm going to add those sockets that we had. So I think it was okay. I'm just going to import the animations first to see how it would look. So inside animation, I'm going to use specific animation, and here I'm going to select the animation that we had. So inside content animations, we have our animation here. So I'm just going to select this one for now. And I'm going to pause this here and just replace this asset that we have here with our axe. So as you can see, we do have a weapon socket already made here. We can use that for our weapon socket for the enemy. So I'm going to just copy this, and inside enemy weapon mesh, we do have a weapon holster socket that we haven't added. We need to add that as well. So I'm going to go here, and I guess it was somewhere around the spine position, so spine 5, yeah. So we can use spine 5 for that. And for the animation, I am going to use the equip animation. So if I can just find that animation, was it this one? Yeah, it was this one. So I'm going to use this animation here. And I'm going to add the socket somewhere around here. Yeah, so add socket, and the name for the socket has to be exactly the same that we previously used. So I'm going to just copy this socket name and paste it here inside the details panel, and I'm going to attach our axe to see whether it is correctly positioned or not. So yeah, so as you can see, it's not correctly positioned right now. We need to position that. Also, I would remove the sword since it's blocking the view. So here inside weapon socket, I'm going to remove all attached assets, and here I'm going to add the asset again for the axe. So yeah, so yeah, it has to be somewhere around here, I guess, and I think that would do. So if I just play it, yeah. Now if I go inside enemy base, go to the viewport, we can see that it's attached to that socket perfectly. Now if I save it and save this one here, if I close this, and we might have to remove our previously made AI and use the same AI, replace it with the same AI, then yeah. So as you can see, the axe is equipped right now, and if I just play from here, it sees us Okay, so the weapon socket name is also different. So I'm going to go here and check the weapon socket name that we have. So if I remember correctly, then we have a task for equipping the weapon where we set the socket. So yeah, equip weapon right here. So this is the weapon socket name that we previously used, but now we are going to use the new socket name that we just made for this one, right? So I'm going to go inside skeleton and I'm going to just find that weapon socket. So yeah, I'm going to copy this and paste it here. So if I play again, and it works perfectly. Now you might see that it is not moving right now because we don't have a nav mesh. If I press P, I don't see anything. So obviously we are going to need a nav mesh, because if you remember correctly, then without the nav mesh the enemy won't know where it can move. So I'm going to get a nav mesh bounce volume, get it on the level of the ground and expand it completely so that it fills the entire area. And we have a nav mesh, and if I play from here, it sees me and it starts attacking. Perfect. Also, we need to add a tag for our enemy so that the player basically knows that it is attacking an enemy. So I'm going to go here, scroll down, or I can just search here, actor tag. Okay, it's not showing up here, so I'm just going to go inside this enemy here, viewport, enemy BP self. I'm going to search here again. So yeah, and we have here under actor we have tags. I'm going to add a tag and call it enemy. I'll just check it once whether it is the same as the tag that we had on our dummy. So I'm going to open BP dummy and I will search for tag. Yeah, it's the same. Next thing that we need to add is the patrol route. So I'm going to go here inside our enemy folder, and under actors we have patrol route. So I'm just going to place this route here at some points. And I think this is good enough for our route for now, and let's just test it out here if the enemy is okay. Also we need to obviously select the actor for the patrol route. So inside enemy, if I go under details and scroll down, yeah, so here's patrol route. I'm going to select this patrol route for this enemy, and I'm just going to right click here and play from here so that enemy doesn't see me. So the enemy goes there and it goes around all the points inside the patrol route, and when he sees me he equips his axe and starts chasing me. Now there's the enemy setup done here. It seems to work perfectly. Now I do want to make a few changes inside this enemy blueprint. So I'm going to go here under event graph. If you remember, we made a damage event to report damage. So let me just find it. Okay, I think I removed that, but we can just report a damage event here for event any damage. So here on event any damage, I'm just going to draw from here and call a report damage event. Damaged actor will be self and instigator will be player character. Alright, so that's that, and for the event location I will call get actor location, but we most probably won't need that, but still we can just add it, and the damage amount will be this. So yeah, that's the report damage event called. And with that, we have perfectly imported the enemy from our Smart AI project to the Action RPG project. Now what we are going to do is implement this AI on the level that we had previously created. So I'm going to open that level up and start assembling everything one by one. So we have our level opened up here, and now we are going to add the AI to our level. So I'm going to go here inside enemy. I'm going to drop our AI here, and along with that I'm going to add the patrol route as well and a nav mesh bounce volume. So we need all these three things. First I'm going to start off with our nav mesh. I'm going to extend it. So that it covers the entire town. Also, if you notice that there is a slight elevation, so if I press P, you can see that some areas are not covered properly. So to get rid of that, I'm just going to increase the height as well. And that should cover the entire level. Now if you notice, there are some areas that are like overlapping with the nav mesh and making weird shapes. We don't need to worry about that, but if it affects our gameplay, then one thing that we can do is either move it away or change the settings for the nav mesh from our project settings. So inside editor, and there we can find project, and inside project settings we can just search up nav mesh. So okay, so it's not nav mesh, it's I guess something called navigation. Yeah, navigation system. Here we can basically set some values for our navigation, or we can just go here, scroll down. Yeah, navigation mesh, my bad. Yeah, so under navigation mesh we can basically change our settings for the nav mesh. So there are a lot of settings here that you can tinker with, but mainly we need these resolution, these parameters basically. So the agent radius is what tells the nav mesh how thick the player or the enemy is. So the size of the capsule, it should be the same as your capsule size. In our case it's 34. Height will be the capsule height. Max slope will be up to which angle the nav mesh will calculate. So if I just bring it out here and dock it somewhere, so let's say here, or I can just keep it free here like this, or to extend it. And now I will just change these settings and we can see it affect. So if I, let's say, turn it down to 16, you can see it's not affecting the slopes properly. I'm going to set a value of around 45 right now, so it covers each and every slope. Next thing, we need to basically fix these edges right here which are not connected. So to do that, we can, I think it's this one, the agent radius. Let's see if it works or not. So if I set it to 25, okay, it's not changing anything. Okay, so let me just go through all the settings here one by one, and I'll let you know once I get the correct setting. Okay, so it was minimum region area, but since this area is way too narrow because of the collision for this well, it's not getting connected properly. So what we can do here is we can basically shift the well towards the right a bit so that the nav mesh connects properly. Or we can do is we can basically select the well and scroll down on its details to search something, or we can just search it up. It's called can ever affect navigation. So what it does is that it basically checks whether the actor can affect the navigation, the actor's collision will affect the navigation mesh or not. So if I untick this, we can see the nav mesh gets connected, but we do need to keep in mind that if the AI crosses this place, it's going to get affected by the collision. It's not going to prevent the collision affection, but it prevents the nav mesh getting affected. So yeah, that's that. Now if we get here, we can basically place our AI. We need to get a good starting point for our AI. So I'm going to place it somewhere here, and next we need to select the patrol route, and I'm going to create a patrol route for our AI. So it's going to start from here, then it's going to go around this place, and after that it will go somewhere around here. Basically you can set it up as you like. It totally depends on your level and the area that you are working with. So I'm just going to place some random points. And I think we have a good enough path for now, or I can just add another point around here. Yeah, so that looks like a good enough path for our AI. I'm going to select this path for our enemy AI. Let me just get this above the surface. Yeah, so yeah, now I just need to select this. So if I go here, click on the dropper, and yeah, so that is selected. Now if I press Alt plus S, we can basically simulate it without having to actually play it. So if I press Alt plus S, it's going to simulate the level. Okay, it shows that nav mesh needs to be rebuilt. Let me see what that issue is. I'm just going to select the nav mesh and move it a bit and test it again. So yeah, it's basically showing nav mesh needs to be rebuilt. So it's a problem with our nav mesh. Let me just check what it is, and I will get back to you in a while. So I found the issue. Basically what was happening is that our nav mesh generation is set to static. So what happens is that on loading the level, it basically doesn't rebuild the nav mesh. So what we need to do is we need to go inside project settings, and under navigation mesh we have this setting called runtime generation. We need to set it as dynamic, and that should fix our issue. As you can see, it has fixed the issue right now, and our AI is walking around. Now it sees us and it comes to attack us. Yeah, so yeah, that's working perfectly. Now there's a few more things that I need to add in here. Firstly, let me just fix the nav mesh again, since it's not covering the entire level. So I'm going to increase this length, and yeah, that should do it. Let me just test it out again, and it's working perfectly. Yeah. Okay, so that's working well. Next thing that we need to do is we need to basically set the attacking system for the player on our new enemy. So what we have right now is sorry, let me just do this. Yeah, so what we have right now is, once I go get our weapon and sprint towards our AI, and if I hit it, it gets alerted obviously, and it attacks us. Now what's happening is that when the AI is attacking us, we are not getting the effects like the sound effects or the hit react. So we need to fix that. So yeah, let's just do that. So inside our player BP, let's just open up our player BP. So I think it's inside third person, blueprints, BP third person. So here we have our player, and let's just search up for event any damage. So here is our event any damage. Now it just reduces the health, but what we can do is we can play a hit react animation for that and add some sounds as well. So I'm just going to increase this and search up play anime montage. Or just play montage, yeah, that one. And on completed, or we can just add it to on blend out. We can decrease our health, or we, one second, yeah, or we can play this montage once we have decreased our health. So if I go here, and here it's going to check whether it will go for death or not. If not, then it's going to get completed. Yeah. So here we need to add our mesh for the character. So yeah, we have our mesh, and we also need a hit react animation. So let's just search it up. Inside animations we have we can basically use this animation. So I'm just going to add it up here, and let's just see if it works or not. So I'm going to spawn myself here. He sees us. So yeah, the animation works perfectly. Now we need to add some sounds to that as well. So I'm going to open up this animation, or we can just add the sound here as well. That won't be an issue. That's what I'm going to do. And here I'm just going to open up the animation and add a sound notify. So here under notifies, I'm going to right click and add a skeleton notify, or just a montage notify. Yeah, so I'm going to add a montage notify and call it attack sound, and I need to find a place where I want to play that sound. So it's somewhere around here. and on notify begin I can basically play the sound. So also we can just draw from here and check whether the montage notify that is getting called is the one for the sound or not. So on notify begin, okay, I can just switch here, switch on name, add pin. I'm going to remove the default pin and add a pin name that is going to be attack sound, the same as our notify name. So if this is called, then we can basically play our sound. So play sound at location, and we can select our sound asset. So this one is for the swipe. I'm just going to search it up. Or I can just search it from our BP dummy. So on hit react, or where was it? Let me just find it up. So yeah, inside our attack montages we have our sound. Or we can just download some sounds from Google or anywhere. You need to keep in mind that those have to be in .wav format, or else it won't work here. Right now I'm just going to use this one sound here, and its location will be our actor location. So yeah, and also I would add some hit react, sorry, not hit react sounds, some attack sounds for our attack montage. So here under notifies, I'm just going to add a notify and call it sounds, and I'm just going to add a notify called play sound. So what it does is that it's going to basically play the sound here inside the notify itself. So we can just select the sound that we want to play. So I'm going to scroll down here, I'm going to call swing whoosh. So yeah, that looks perfect. I'm going to save everything up, and let's just test it out here. Okay, so that sound doesn't suit our needs well, so I'm just going to remove this for now. But you can keep in mind that you can just add any sound that you can want to play as a hit react for this one, or you can just add the sound inside the hit react animation here, like I showed you right now. So under notify you can go here and call play sounds, so that will do the trick. So I'm going to delete this, and let's just see how this looks. So yeah, it looks pretty well without the sound actually. So yeah, that looks great. and we should have our project completely set up right now. It's almost done. I'm just going to adjust the path a bit. And one more thing that I would like to do is add some sort of noise event that we might trigger if we go through a certain place. So let's say if we are going through here, I'm just going to add some sounds that will get triggered once we go through a certain collision box. So we are going to do that next. So I found some vegetation that we can add here. So basically, when our player will go through that vegetation, it's going to trigger a noise event, and that's basically going to alert the AI. Along with that, I did find some animation, I did find some sounds to add to our AI, to our player. So we can do that as well. So I'm just going to add the notify again. So here, right click, add notify, montage notify. We can basically call the sound here itself, or we can just do it like we did before. So I'm going to call it through the blueprint. So I'm going to call it attack sound again. Yeah, I'm going to keep it somewhere in the beginning, and inside our player I'm going to get here and switch on name, remove the default pin, add the name, so attack sound, and on notify begin we have attack sound, and that's going to play sound at location, and location will be get actor location. And the sound that we are going to use is this one, hit swing. So I'm going to add it here. Let's just test that out first. So yeah, that's great. Yeah, so that's working perfectly. Next, I'm going to create a sound actor. So inside content, enemy actors, I'm going to create a blueprint class actor and call it BP sound actor. I'm going to just quickly add a mesh here, a static mesh, and a box collision. And inside the static mesh, I'm going to go inside the construction script, and here inside variables I'm going to add a mesh variable which will be of type static mesh. I'm going to expose it to spawn and to get mesh and set static mesh. And also I'm going to give an initial value for our mesh, and that will be the vegetation that we just downloaded from Quixel. So inside Megascan 3D plants, we have this. So I'm just going to add, let's say, this one probably. So yeah, let me just check inside viewport. Yeah, that looks perfect. Also, I am going to adjust the box a bit. So yeah, now on the box overlap, add on component begin overlap. I'm going to get the other actor if it is equal to our player character. So get player, my bad, get player character. If it is equal to a player character, I am going to basically report a noise event. So report noise event, noise location will be get actor location. And our instigator will be the player character. Or we can basically pass self, whatever, but that doesn't matter. So that's our sound actor done. You can even add some sounds if you want to that sound actor, so that when it overlaps it's going to play the sound, but I'm just going to use it as it is. So I'm just going to place it here inside actors. Yeah. So I'll just place it here and adjust the box a bit. So I'm going to rotate this. Yeah. So yeah, that works well, I guess. Let me just test it out here. So if I go here, play from here. So one thing that is happening, it's colliding with the player's collision and acting a bit weirdly, I guess. Also, I don't think it did report the noise event. So let me just check that. So if I go to our AI controller, so inside enemy AI controller, I'm going to see how it detects for sound. So inside check for detection, okay, not check for detection, inside event graph, check for detection hearing, and yeah, so it checks for hearing, that is that, and then inside handle hearing, okay, so I think this actor is returning the plant and not our player character. I'm just going to check that here. So if I add a breakpoint right here and if I test it from here, okay, it's not reporting the noise event at all. So I think it's an issue with our sound actor. I'm going to check this. Okay, it did report the noise event, but I think the AI is not able to hear it. Let's just test it by using our previously made noise event. So if I press 1, or was it 2? Okay, yeah, so we don't have that, I guess, here, since it was a different player that we were using. So let me just copy the functionality from there. So it was something like to keyboard, and on pressed I was just reporting a noise event. So loudness will be 1, instigator will be self, and that was it. So if I stand here, if I press 2, yeah, so it did not report the noise event. So yeah, I remember why it's not working, because if we remember correctly, the AI has a noise hearing radius that we made, and it is outside that radius. That's why it's not able to hear that. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to increase the hearing radius for the AI. So inside AI perception, I will go here. Under senses config, we have hearing config, and here we have the hearing range. I'm going to increase it to something around 5000 maybe, and we can test it out. So if I play from here, okay, so if I press apostrophe and then yeah, so as you can see, it did hear the noise this time. So I'm going to remove that. So it is coming here to investigate it. If I move away, it will go to that location, it will investigate it, and then it will return back to its previous position. So yeah, it's working perfectly. We can remove this functionality right now, and let's just finally test it out. So if I overlap here, it hears me, then it sees me, and then it starts chasing me. So yeah, that is our AI setup. Now we can basically test it from here. So we go through here, we pick up our sword. Now we have two options, we can go through left or we can go through right. If we go through right, the AI will hear us and it will come near this place to investigate. And once it comes near here, it will return back. Now if I carefully go through here and try to attack, okay, so it sees me and then it starts attacking. We can attack the AI itself as well, and the AI is attacking us too. So yeah, so that is set up perfectly, and I think we are done with our RPG game here. So on that note, we have successfully completed the RPG game that we are working along with our smart AI, and as the conclusion for our course right now. If you have any questions regarding us, feel free to contact us. We will be adding our contacts inside this course material as well, and inside the promo material as well. We will also be hosting a Discord channel so that you could all join there and create a community, and also we will be hosting some sessions for doubt clearing as well. So you can join those sessions, you can ask us anything you want to regarding this course or any other questions regarding AI or Unreal itself. So on that note, thanks for watching. I hope you enjoyed this course, and glad I could teach you all everything regarding this AI and this course. So anyways, thanks for watching. Hope you have a great day.